Get off the road!
All right. Hi, I'm Mike of Mike's Road Trip.
And I'm Mihaela from World Travel Blog.
Also known as Miha. You may recognize her from our Road Trip Romania video, where she showed me all over her home country.
And now it's his turn to show me around his country.
Yeah, this is actually going to be an epic road trip around the Southwest, starting off in Arizona, hitting a little bit of Utah and Colorado, and then all the way down through New Mexico. So come along with us
and let us show you around.
Our first stop was to pick up our RV at Cruise America. After checking out our digs that we'd call home for the next couple of weeks, we began loading our supplies. This is all our food.
Oh no!
I slept all night on a big white ship. Seagulls were dancing all around.
Notice how many passes I've made and how many Miha has made.
I've been dragging things from the truck.
Get back to work!
And the waves, the slow pace, the salty breeze, and the waves. No matter where I play.
So our very first stop here on this epic road trip of the Southwest is here to the Lost Dutchman State Park, which is home to the glorious Superstition Mountains. So Miha, what do you think so far?
I am already impressed, and it's our first day, half day actually. Yeah. It's incredible. We're waiting for the sunset and for the stars tonight.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it was kind of cloudy earlier today, and it has just cleared up, and it is going to be a beautiful sunset.
And back to where I'm from, the salty breeze in my lungs. On and on and on and on.
So as you may have noticed, we are here in the desert, the Sonoran Desert to be precise. So I thought I'd point out some of the different vegetation around here.
I actually learned some. Can I say the name of this one? Let's see. Is that a choya?
No.
Damn it!
Good guess. This is an ocotillo. Yeah. Okay, so Miha likes to make fun of me a lot, so... Anyhow, so behind us is the ocotillo, as I was saying, and this time of year it's got a lot of green leaves on it, and that's only because we've had a lot of rain lately. Ordinarily, you wouldn't see this. And also because it's springtime, you'll see little red buds on top.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, there! Sorry, my camera equipment does not allow me to jump higher. Otherwise, I'll go really high.
Okay, so do you know what's behind us?
A wolf? A coyote?
A coyote, yes.
Coyote.
And then, do you see this here?
No. 6, 9, 12.
Yeah.
Is it a clock or something?
Yeah. It's a sundial.
Oh. So do they howl at 12 sharp every night?
That's a good question. All right, so these are the choya you were talking about. And what's so interesting is look at these blooms. I mean, you have to be careful. They're the prickers on there are very sharp, but you got some blooms at the end that are actually soft.
Huh. Yeah. Oh! What are these? Prickly pears.
Ah, yes.
Yes! I got
Yes,
one right.
these are prickly pears, and they actually have some blooms coming in too, probably in the next couple of weeks. These will be vibrant colors right here.
Travel far, now retreating. I've longed for this place for so long. Now I lay me down and belong.
Hey, so Miha, right now we are at a place called Tortilla Flat. And this is an old remnant of a western town. And it used to also be a stagecoach stop. And now people come here for the general store, and there's an ice cream shop and some other things. So
we're gonna have an ice cream?
Yeah, we could do that.
Chocolate.
At the very least, let's go have a look.
Yes. So what was the deal with all those dollars bills?
Maybe just not pluralize it.
So what was the deal with all those dollar bills?
Oh, so it's become kind of a tradition here where people from around the world, and they'll mainly use American currency, but on a dollar bill they'll sign their name and then they'll give it to the folks and then they paste it up into the rafters. Oh. And it's just kind of a sign to say, hey, I was here, you know.
Shall I give them one?
If you want.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hopefully I won't get them 100.
Yeah. Oh, and didn't you say you needed to use the bathroom?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's right over there.
It's out of order. By the way, we used to have this kind of toilets in Romania. This was the standard toilets in the village. Just a shack like this, hole in the ground.
I'm glad I didn't live in Romania during those times. So today we are heading a bit north. Our first stop is Tonto Natural Bridge in Payson. And then we're going to be continuing north. We might hit Petrified Forest and then up to Chaco Canyon, or not, I'm sorry, Canyon de Chelly. Chaco Canyon's in a few days.
Yeah, we have that on our list as well. And we are on an amazing road. We are all, a few minutes ago, we were both like, wow, look at this road. Look at, it's all new and clean and beautiful.
It's actually Usury Pass, beautiful, beautiful road near the Salt River recreational area. Beyond the river is Saguaro Lake, which is another recreational lake. We were at Canyon Lake yesterday, and this is all part of a chain of lakes that support the water needs for Phoenix.
But how come that you have lakes in the desert?
Well, of course, this is a very popular area, and you have to have water to survive. So back in the early, I think it was maybe the 1920s, 30s, somewhere around there, Carl Hayden, who became a senator of Arizona, he actually created a canal system. And they also, I think it was at the same time, they created all these reservoirs to capture water to feed the needs for the Phoenix area.
So they're all man-made?
They're all man-made lakes. They all have dams on it. Really? And they're funneling water from multiple sources, but essentially off of the Colorado River.
Wow, that's even more impressive because they're so big. At least the one that I've seen yesterday, the Canyon Lake.
Yeah.
It's so big. We're standing on the corner here in Winslow, Arizona.
If you're not familiar, this is where the famous Eagles song, Take It Easy, takes place.
And is this the beginning of Route 66? Or?
No, this is actually just a, this is a popular area of Route 66.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we just made it to Canyon de Chelly, and I think this is one of the more underrated places, parks, if you will, here in Arizona. So this is your first glimpse. What do you think?
It looks amazing. I cannot stop taking photos. I just wish the sky was better, but my God, look at those formations.
Yeah.
Wow. It's impressive, so impressive.
Yeah, let's hike down there.
So you want to tell me a little bit about this place? All I know is it's in Navajo Nation.
Well, one thing you'll really appreciate is this is one of Ansel Adams' favorite places to photograph.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah.
that's even more exciting.
I think it was in the 1930s. He came here several times and took photographs. Actually, interestingly enough, none of these trees were here when he was photographing. I think it was the Land Reclamation Department of the United States decided that to help with erosion, they would plant all these non-native plants. So, you know, 80, 100 years ago, none of that existed, apparently.
What's cool now is that they add a bit of color to the photo.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Look at this part. Oh my God. This is amazing. The color, the everything.
One of the things that makes this Canyon de Chelly so remarkable is that it's always changing. The wind, water, and sand are just kind of etching out this masterpiece. So if you look right down here, this spider rock here, it used to be connected, and that has all worn away. With Canyon de Chelly in our rearview mirror, we're now heading to
Monument Valley.
Yes, this is one of the most iconic road trip areas probably in the country. So I'm excited to show you around that area.
I'm very excited to see that as well. So far, the landscape has changed like crazy. My God, we've seen pink mountains, red mountains. Oh, and the shapes are incredible.
And we boondocked last night, had a really fantastic sight. So Miha, we are about a third of the way through this trip. Tell me about one or two of the highlights so far.
It's quite difficult to pick. I was amazed of everything that I've seen so far. But if I really have to pick, I think Canyon de Chelly. I said this is epic. I'm just, oh, epic moment, epic place for an epic road trip.
Yeah.
I did not expect, every stop was showing something different and
Yeah.
it just got better and better. But I feel like I'm betraying Superstition Mountain if I say that I like Canyon de Chelly.
Yeah.
I just loved that place.
And that Lost Dutchman State Park where we camped out was just beautiful.
That was really cool place. Plus it had all my new friends there.
The saguaro cacti.
Or saurao, as I call them most of the time. It's saguaro, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I say maybe in another third, when we're about 2/3 done with this trip, we'll sit down and I'll ask you the same question.
Cool. We are in Bluff.
Oh,
we are not bluffing. We are in Bluff, Utah.
Yeah, and I think this place gets its name because there's this massive sandstone wall that runs through, not quite through town, but along the edge of the town. And we're right now at the Bluff Fort, which was established, I think, in 1880. I'm not sure who this was occupied by, but it's a really cool visitors or, you know, tourist stop when you're coming through town. So we're at the very edge of Bluff, Utah, and Miha, she got some little prickers in her shoe, which is just no fun.
Because he stopped right next to it, so as I got off the car, look.
She just got off the car. She didn't get out of the car, she got off the car.
Oh, details, details, details. This is not my native language.
Well, the reason I wanted to bring you up this sandy little dirt road here is because there's this massive hole in this granite where there's a bit of a cliff dwelling or somebody started to make something.
Huh.
So let's have a look.
So were these like natural holes?
Oh, this is natural.
This is natural, so they just...
Yeah, this is natural, but then they would close them off and make rooms and stuff with walls like this.
Oh, interesting. Now, where would you have put the living? I would think this would be the bedroom because it's flat, so you need to sleep well. I guess this is, well, the entrance, the living, yeah. And, hello from the kitchen. Oh, yeah, I'm right. Look, fire. This is all black. This is where the fire
and then look
was.
right here, too. It's way more black, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the kitchen. So for the smoke not to go into the living and the bedroom.
So we just left Monument Valley not too long ago, and we're now just a bit north of Mexican Hat, Utah. And your first impressions?
I have no words literally for this whole trip so far. Monument Valley was spectacular. Truly spectacular. We got the signature shot, but now the landscape keeps on changing and we're like, wow, look at that, look left, look right, look in front. Like, I don't know where to look first. Plus we stop every 2 minutes to take photos with the drone out. It's incredible. I was just saying that I feel like I'm on Mars. I've never seen this anywhere else.
Yeah, and while we're still in this red rock landscape, it's completely different than Monument Valley. There it's a lot more smooth sandstone. Here it's much more jagged.
Yeah, it's just...
And there's a river running through.
And the lines of the mountain, it's like somebody painted everything. It's like really the artist's hand. It's just that the artist is nature right now. It's, wow.
So our next stop is to Mesa Verde, which is just outside of Cortez, Colorado. And there they have a lot of cliff dwellings. So it's a really fascinating look at native history here.
And one little detail, Mesa Verde means
flat top.
Green table.
Oh, green table, that's right.
It's Mesa Verde.
Yeah.
In fact, in my Spanish.
Yeah, Miha, she speaks quite a few languages, which is very helpful when we travel. Well, we're here at Mesa Verde. Unfortunately, it is closed due to COVID-19. We can't even do the loop to see some of the artifacts and stuff. That's too bad.
Yep.
We drove all this way. Where are we gonna go now?
I don't know. Somewhere that is not closed.
I woke up, what a sunrise on a sea. Such a precious gift to me.
So I'll bet you didn't expect to see snow.
No, I'm not dressed for that.
Well, since we couldn't go to Mesa Verde, we're gonna go to Durango. I'm gonna show her around there a little bit. But in the meantime, we've hit quite a bit of snow, which I actually didn't expect. Certainly not this level, down up in the mountains for sure.
Yep.
All right, we'll head off to Durango.
And change in warmer clothes.
So we made it here to Durango. One of the things they're very famous for is the train that goes up to Silverton. They also have some lovely restaurants, a couple of nice historic hotels. And if you're an Atlas Shrugged fan, Durango should ring a bell.
Huh? This is the John Galt line.
Yes, the John Galt line. The coolest building is right up here on the corner. And I think we want to be on that other corner to take a picture.
And what is it?
It's a hotel.
Oh.
But it's, I think, one of the oldest buildings here.
It looks like a cool little town.
It really
Very
is.
Charming.
Yeah, they have a ski resort up the mountain. It's called Purgatory.
What a name.
Yeah. So I think probably skiing and the train are the two more popular things to do here. But you can fly fish and mountain bike, lots of outdoor activities. It's a fun little town. Whoa. We have been searching and searching for a place to camp. It's getting close to dark, and we finally found a road that said Scenic Overlook or something, and there's not a single person here.
And we did not expect
Wow.
this.
I think this is one of the best boondock sites we've come across so far. We're at Angel's Peak, I believe it is, in northwestern New Mexico.
I am speechless.
Did you get some good photos?
I think so, but last night I got some amazing ones, but I think we should keep this place a secret. I'm sorry. It's just too good. I really hope this park is worth it, because this is painful.
Yeah.
This road. It's one of the most painful roads I have been on.
This is worse than Romanian roads.
A lot worse. Hear
Yeah.
my vibration.
I think my fillings might come out. Yeah, we're heading
my
to
God.
Chaco Canyon, and unfortunately there's a long road of very uneven, dirt. It's not good. So, we made it.
We didn't do it. Okay.
We made it here to Chaco Canyon, and this is a place I visited about 10 years ago and have been really interested in coming back to spend a little bit more time. So this is just a ruin. There's not much intact here, but you, as we go to some of the other sites, you will see more and more structures that are intact. And what else is very impressive is how large some of these buildings were.
Bonito.
This one is,
Pueblo Bonito, which means beautiful village.
yeah, and it is quite impressive. Have a look. Isn't it cool that you can just kind of walk through this entire compound?
Yeah.
And it is just massive. It just goes on and on. Look at this.
See round things?
Yeah.
I wonder what they were. Where they would have the meetings?
I think so. Yeah. I forgot. Oh, these are called kivas.
Okay.
Yeah. A kiva, and I don't know the exact definition, but I believe these were ceremonial areas. So you can see the seating in there.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, they probably would have had a fire, or this would have had a roof on it and stuff. This was all part of Pueblo Bonita, this entire area, but it was demolished, I think, in modern times, but I'm not positive about that. And this was much larger village, but unfortunately it was all destroyed by a landslide. Miha is a little bit afraid of heights, but I'm really proud of her for pushing through. Have a look.
Here is much better. I just want to have walls or just one wall.
Yeah.
It's not the climbing.
What a view it is from up above. So, what did you think of Chaco Canyon?
Well, it was a totally different site than everything else we've seen so far, and I was impressed with the settlements. You know, all the attention to detail and how old they were and how big they were. And although I was scared at the beginning, I quite enjoyed that
Yeah. Oh
the
yeah,
hiking. Yeah. It was a great view from there.
It
Yeah.
sure was.
Yeah.
Well, so today we're gonna head to El Morro, and which is another cultural national monument.
Also in New Mexico.
Also in New Mexico, yeah.
Okay.
And then our next stop after that will be Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Well, we hit some major detour on our trip. It was bound to happen, I guess.
Yeah, it's quite significant. But you know, when life throws you some lemons, try and make some lemonade. So stay tuned for the next episode. Click the thumbnail below to watch the next episode, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more road trip travel videos. So until next time, we'll see you on the road.
MikeRoadTrip.com